conversation with her is the editor of Outlook magazine, Chinki Sinha. I would now like to request Banuji and Chinki to please come on stage and take their seats. Over to you, Chinki.
Hi, can you hear? Okay. Okay. Excuse me. Hi, thank you for having us here. I wrote a little intro for Banu Mushtaq, who I'm very happy to meet today. And it's just a line from one of her stories, and a line which is not just a line, but that which stretches from then to now, and maybe also the future. It's from the story called The Black Cobras. And it says, if you who squats to pee has this much arrogance, how much arrogance should I who stands to piss have? Which is said by Yaqub in context to his wife, who he has abandoned. So, there is a lot of writing that we encounter, but writing by women about women and to be read by men and women and others is very important. And in her stories, we see this person is political. There was a lot of opposition to her inaugurating the Dasera festival in Mysore, and she did it. And it's a great moment for all of us. She won the Booker Prize, International Booker Prize for her 12 short stories in Heart Lamb in 2025. And in all these stories, we see this world of women who also find sisterhood meaning, it's a lot of rebellion, it's a lot of acceptance, it's a lot of reality. And I would say that she also belongs to a literary movement, which was the Bandaya literary tradition, and if I may say so, very happy to be in company of a rebel. And so my first question, and one more thing before that, the translator basically refused to italicize any of the words that were used, which is a very interesting rebellion in itself, because it doesn't do othering of those words. Because if you see, and if you read the story, there's a lot of words that she uses, which is not from English, but they're not italicized here. So there's no othering there, which is also a political thing. One of the, there are many stories that kind of like move you, make you sad, and make you also smile. Virginia Woolf said that room of one's own. And I think this is a book of one's own, because here you find your own life being echoed, the women that you also know personally from your family and all. So I thought I'll start with this question about this male gaze in fiction and the trope that we often have heard about men writing about women. And it's not just about sexing fiction or this gendered thing, but kind of like, how do you write about women, your women? How do you write about love? And then how do you write about men?
Love is the basic. Every woman loves to love and to be loved. It's a important thing. And about women, what do you say about women? What do you want?
About when a woman like you writes about women and writes women, how is it different?
Yeah, it's quite different, because all the time the male who are writing fictions about women, who are describing her, who are telling how they were setting standards for her, how she should drape herself, how should pin flowers into her hair, how her gaze should be lowered, and how silent she should be, how submissive she should be, and how घर की इज्जत बताना चाहिए खामोश रहकर. These were the lines set for her, and she had to follow because they were setting standards, and those standards she had to follow. But as a woman, I don't think I need to write all those things. I should write, I say why I should not shout, why I should not smile in public, because I want to smile and I smile, that's all. And I say I have got certain rights also. I need not follow your own dictates only. I have got my own mind, my body, my thought process, and I am absolutely right in using all those rights in a perfect manner, whether you like it or not. But don't request and don't expect absolute obedience from a woman. That is what I want to say.
There's also, in your stories, there's a lot of reference to love and to men, because the men, you write about men very differently. You still feel a little sympathy, you still feel a little bit like, what the hell? How do you write about men? With what sort of understanding?
Men, I don't hate men. And my women also don't hate men. Because who are they? They are our own kith and kin, our own blood relation. My husband is a person of my matrimonial relation. All are blood, my brother, my father, my son, all are blood relatives. How shall I hate them? I don't say, I don't like them. I don't, but there are, I have brought up in a family where all the male persons, they respect women. Lot of respect is given towards women. And all the male members of our family, they seek the advice of women in most of the matters. They are consulted, they are revered, they are given a proper place. And when I see men of all the types, because I come from movements background, social movements background, and as a lawyer also, I see so many men in my life who come across as my clients, our office clients, and also the sathis of our movements. And I saw a man who was a driver, and when in his absence, the son, who was about 3 years old, he got some asthmatic attacks, and she took him to her daughter. When the husband returned from about a week's driver's job, wife was not at home. So he questioned her, asked her where you had been. She said, I had gone to a doctor, I had taken the baby, everything. He was not satisfied. He was just cooking some curry on the stove. He took that curry bowl and threw it on her face. When she came to our office, all her skin of the face, it was peeling. ऐसे झुल्ली बनकर ऐसे लटक रहा था उसके चेहरे पर से. And she was there for some legal help and medical help. I see men of these type of also, these qualities also. And there are men, as in Yusuf, you've seen, he got her mother married because of the consistent quarrel from his wife. And I don't say they are altogether bad. I don't say they are violent. I don't say they are attacking. But what I want to say is they want to follow the patriarchal rules. That is where my difference starts with them. Or any woman's difference starts with the men.
The other thing I was very intrigued about, the kind of stories, you start with a scene almost, right? There's this intrigue that you build where Hasina's mother is sitting in the mosque, and several neighbors come and say that she's sitting in a mosque. How did you find your stories? Because you're also a journalist, and these stories are very real. So do they have autobiographical traces? How did you find these kinds of very, very realistic stories? The language is very informal. So I just wanted to know how these stories came to you.
Yeah, You are right. You said a scene starts where Hasina's mother starts her education in front of the mosque. Normally, a Muslim woman, she never goes in front of a mosque and she stages a dharna there. She never does. Any woman, till the history, nobody has done that. But in my imagination, I want throughout my stories, through all the stories, all my major characters, they are posing questions on the society. They are posing questions on the various unjustified laws imposed against them. And even the last story you might have seen, Be Once a Woman, O Lord. In that stories also, there is nothing. There is just only a few central plot is there. But throughout, the protagonist is asking questions, leveling questions against the entire society and seeking answers. But till today, she has not got the answers, proper answers. That is the stage.
You know, there's one very fascinating story about high heels.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very interesting in terms of, the male protagonist also, who wants his wife to wear these heels, and the wife wears it. And I just wanted to know your use. Like, you use a lot of these objects in your stories and kind of make
And
them
animals also.
animals, objects,
Objects become a character.
Yeah. So, how and the landscape, like it's mostly inside the home,
Yes.
and there's a scooter always. There's all these little things. So how, why do you use them, and how do they tell the story?
Yeah, these are not mere objects. They have got their own significance. They too, along with my characters, they give a particular aura when, along with the story. They start speaking, they keep silence, they start agitating, and they have got a very important role, all the objects. And even in high heel shoe, she is a pregnant lady, she is expecting her child, and at that time, when she is about 8 months or near her delivery, he wants her to wear high heel shoe and walk along with him in a stylish way. That is his only desire in his life. And so he insists his wife to wear high heel shoe. But during that time, the child, the embryo, it starts talking with its mother. And it says, no, mama, don't do that. It's most uncomfortable thing I am feeling. Why are you harassing me? Why are you troubling me? And she protests. She said, no, I cannot wear it. I don't want to. But he insists. Then tactfully, she presses her leg in a wrongful manner and she breaks the heels of the high heel shoe so that she want to have her husband also. She want to have her husband and she want to safeguard the relationship also as well as the health of the child, the birth of the child.
So there's a lot of empathy in your writing. It's not like either this side or that side.
Yes.
And I thought one of the things I wanted to ask about was, vernacular literature and women writing in it, and the voices, and how difficult it is to get published, or to kind of like even get acknowledged. Or, I remember...
It is highly tough. It is highly difficult. But it is more difficult after the publication. Why? Why? Because I have tried my level best too. I was writing so many things, but I tried at so many places because I never had any godfather. I went to so many places, I contacted so many people, and I got published. It's a different thing. But only after publication, I was made to answer, I was made to explain my theories, I was condemned for my writing, and I was attacked, I was humiliated, I was trolled, and I was thrown out of the community, and I was made to go through all the tortures. because of my views. Writing is easy thing for me, but to sustain it's a very hard thing.
Is it because you're a Muslim woman
Yes,
writer in
yes.
today's India?
Yes, yes. It's a special tag. So I am not a writer. I am a Muslim woman writer. That tag always haunts me. Because I have to write under identities. I have to write under identities, and I have to maintain that identity, and I am answerable under those identities.
And how do you break free from those things, or is it an
No,
impossible?
even today I have not broken free from those identities and those, responsibilities and those accusations and those abuses. You know, after the publication of that story, the Be a Once Woman, Oh Lord, I was abused to such an extent from my head to my toe. I was orally raped by each and every person who was in the streets, who was not a critic of any literary work. He cannot evaluate the literary value. He cannot understand the literature. He cannot understand the characters, and he cannot understand the concepts I am speaking of. Even then, he abused me continuously. I was trolled for 6 months. And fatwa was cast against me.
Because I think you challenge that male entitlement in your stories, and I think a lot of...
But I am not bitter. Even
Exactly.
in spite of it, I am not bitter about them.
How do you not turn bitter? How do you...
Yes.
It's very important for women to talk about it, this also. How do you get over bitterness? You know, I met...
Yeah, I get over it. It's a very, very tough thing. Very tough thing. I'm also a human being. I have been brought up in a family where, I told you already, men respect women a lot. I have come in such a sophisticated and uncultured family. And when I have been abused by any street vendor or any some XYZ who is not related to me in such an abusive language, I was I was shattered. It reflected on my body, and I developed a sort of, what do you say, this
trauma.
Trauma was a different thing, but I got rashes on my skin. Allergy, rashes, and it was so evident. Continuous rashes were there for 1 whole year. I consulted all the dermatologists, skin doctors, each and everybody I consulted, but I could not get any relief. But when I consulted a psychiatrist, he told me that it is the outcome of self-rejection. I am rejecting myself as a woman.
Many women...
Yes, I am rejecting myself, and it is reflecting on your skin. And please come out of that trauma, come out of the scenery of abuses, and then you will recover. He advised me, and without any medication, when he started counseling me, I got rid of those allergic rashes and those things. These things, this is how we suffer mentally, physically, bodily. And it was a good thing. I am having a very good family. My husband, my children, my brothers, my sisters, and my in-laws, all of them support me a lot. Otherwise, the plight of the woman could have been even worse. And even there was a threat on my husband to divorce me. How can you tolerate such a wife? You are not a man. He was also abused. To tolerate such a woman as your wife, you should be ashamed, people told him. But now they say, oh, what a lucky man you are. She is getting Booker. Booker, what is Booker? शेर भी बोल लगते मतलब भी समझा लगते.
I feel that is why the beauty industry is thriving, because of pigmentation, acne creams and all. Clearly, women have not gotten over all the stress. The other thing, you know, a lot of interviews and write-ups that I read kind of categorized, and it seemed to me a little bit reductive to say that you are writing about Muslim women. I thought it was it was about every woman, you know. Maybe the context or the geographical setting or the other settings were familiar to you as a writer because you grew up like that. But I thought it
No,
reflected.
let me answer you first because it will be a bit longer. Please bear with me. The thing is, I am a Muslim. I come from a Muslim family. During those days, during 1974 and say about 80, during 80s when I started writing, we were part of a movement called Bandaya Sahitya Sangatna. Bandaya is nothing but rebel. Rebel writers group was there and I was a part of it. And we were participating not only in Bandaya Sahitya Sangatna, we were the part of Dalit organization. I was the part of Dalit organization. I was the part of Raita Sangatna, that is Farmers Kisan movement. And I was the part of language movements. And I was the part of feminism also at those times. All these joints together. This Bandaya Sahitya Sangatna, we provided all the intellectual equipment for these organizations. We started from writing posters for their programs and we writing signboards for them. We started from this stage to coming up to literary stage. And during this thing, I wanted to write. I will tell you my own example. I wanted to write. Being a Muslim, studied in Kannada medium, Kannada language, and I wanted to write. What shall I write? I had lot of challenges. What shall I write? I didn't have any subject. And about whom shall I write? I didn't have any answer. And about which cultural background shall I write? When I want to say, there will be some environmental scenes will be there. I had to create some circumstances. In those things, in which category shall I write? Shall I write about a Muslim family or Ramzan? Or shall I write about Deepavali or say Navratri or say about Brahmin funerals they are going to do? What shall I write? I never had any choice because there were no footprints in Kannada literature. Kannada literature has got a history of 2000 years and it has got various stages also, old Kannada, new Kannada, and in new Kannada also there are various branches. But during 80s, the Kannada literature, it branched out into four branches. One was Dalit literature. Dalit literature is thriving powerfully in Kannada. And there is feminist literature. There are a lot of feminism literature in Kannada literature. And also there is Muslim sensibilities writings. That is also a branch. It's a very prominent branch of Kannada literature nowadays that nobody can ignore it. In this Muslim sensibilities novels, all the writers, for example, Sara Abu Bakr, Fakir Muhammad Katpadi, Bulwar Muhammad Kuyi, and there are nowadays, I think there are about 1,000 Muslim writers in Karnataka who have published at least one book. They are also thriving. In such a situation, I had to write under one cultural background. And I have selected Muslim background. And I speak about Muslim women, but it doesn't mean it is only about them because recently I attended film festival at, lit festival at Pune. And afterwards, a fellow called me recently about 3 days back. His name is Ravi. He said, after you came to Pune about to attend the lit festival, I read your book. Your first story, I read about Shaista Mahal. And you know, I come from the rationalist background. My father is a rationalist, but we could never interpret feminism like you have interpreted. That sensibility we have to learn from your books. And another thing is, I know your Shaista, he told me. I said, how do you know? Because she's in my home, in my mohalla, in my neighborhood. Everywhere I go, I see Shaista. She may be Shakuntala or she may be Sheri or she may be anybody, but she is Shaista. I can identify her. She is with me. I can be, I can talk on behalf of her. She said, that means people are resonating with my characters. They are saying, she is not an alien. She is not only a Muslim woman. Yes, she is not only a Muslim woman. She is with us. We can identify us. She is in our home also. That way, these characters are crossing the borders. That is what the, jury of the Booker Committee, Max Porter, he said. These are, it is stated that these are the stories of South Indian Muslim women, but it does not end there. They cross us the border and they have reached us, and that's why we are announcing Booker. He said in his speech, you might have heard him. Yes.
The other question, I mean, you've broken so many barriers and all kinds of things. In one of the things...
And another one important thing I just remembered, I want to share with you people, because we were discussing about Jhumpa Lahiriya also and about the short stories. And these short stories, I am very fond with these short stories. I am in love with them. But my short story, it went to, I never expected that it would contest Booker event. And it went to Booker also. It was long listed, short listed. And when I went to the event, our important agent was there. He was the most eminent person, and he respected me a lot. Even then, I went there at about 8 days earlier to attend that Booker event. And every day he would meet me and he would say, "Dekhiye, madam, don't misunderstand me. You have come to London along with your children. They are all on vacation. Just go around, idhar udhar ghumo, phiro, आराम से घर वापस जाओ, but don't expect Booker. क्योंकि आज तक पूरे इतने सालों में शॉर्ट स्टोरी को कहीं भी बुकर अनाउंस नहीं हुआ है. So don't have hope for Booker. You come to shortlist पे मामूली बात नहीं है. It's a great thing also. You just enjoy this status and go happily return to your place. He was just advising me. Then I said, if those people, they doesn't consider short stories as literature, they don't say that this is the best form of literature, then why they have long-listed me? Why they have short-listed me? And why I have come to this event? Then one thing happened. When I went to Booker, it was a transit travel. I traveled through Bombay. And when I alighted there at Heathrow airport, my entire suitcase was missing. There was not even a single piece of cloth for the next day for me. And I was operated, I had a robotic heart surgery 1 year earlier, and all the medicines were there because doctor has particularly said you should not skip these medicines, otherwise the blood thinner is very important for you. You should not skip all these things. I lost all the medicine, or I lost all the class, and nothing was there for me the next day, but somehow my family were there, about 8 members were there, my daughters, my sons-in-law. Next day they took me to central London and did a massive shopping of all the Western clothes for me. And with this experience, I wrote on the Facebook back home to Karnataka and said, see, this is a sorry state of affairs. I have forgotten, my suitcase is missing. I lost all the baggage. And there were thousands of reactions, and nobody, believe me, nobody sympathized with me. All of them said, oh, just forget about the suitcase, ma'am, but please bring Booker. This type of pressure was on me, and our agent says, don't bother about Booker. You will not get, no short story has got Booker till this. You can enjoy and you return. And then I was highly emotional, and I was distraught. I stayed back at home. I asked my children to go for sightseeing, and there I wept for 10 minutes continuously because all these things they play as I'm a human being. With all these emotions, I wept for 10 minutes. Then I wiped my face and sat straight and started writing my acceptance speech of Booker. and that speech, it is viral, you know. Lot of hundreds and thousands of people are viewing it. This is the story of short story. That's what I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's very heartening to read all this. But one last question I had that, you have broken so many boundaries and you have a great sense of humor. So you write short stories. Firstly, I wanted to, because those stories, I mean...
I have not written only short stories.
No, you've written a
Novels
novel,
are there. I have done translation work from Urdu to Kannada. And I have written a lot of essays and journalistic writings are also.
Of course. So just wanted to, one question is to kind of look at journalistic writing and this side writing, literary writing, because I don't see much difference between fiction, non-fiction in that sense, because our worlds become the same. The other one is about language itself. You kind of use all the language that you know. And it is not just about familiarity. I think it's also it's a political move in terms of expanding to say that come and know us, because this unfamiliarity with the other leads to all of these whatever situations that we are facing right now. So I wanted you to respond to these two things. Because one of the, all the stories, I think short story is a strange category because none of those stories end where they end. You keep wondering about what happens to Mehroon when she finally, her daughter is lying at her feet. And then you think, okay, so is she going to accept or is she going to rebel? So the story doesn't really end. It's not a short story in that sense.
But in the background you can see.
Yeah.
सूरज निकल रहा था, ऊपर फुट रहा था, उजाला फैल रहा था. All these things were there. So there was a light that in which both the mother and daughter, they were simmering. That is hope. There was lot of hope for them. Lot of the hope for even for Mehroon and her daughter.
And her daughter. And the baby.
Yeah, and the baby. For all the three of them, there was hope. Means that it is a positive because a writer should always give hope to the society.
That is such a thing to say.
Yes. And a writer should give sufficient strength. And a writer should be with the people, pro people, not with the power. And the writer should have enough courage to say truth on the face of the power. That is when the credibility of the... It is not an easy thing. And that is not an easy thing also.
No, not at all.
Not at all. तो ये सूली पर चढ़ना और सच कहना. अभी and I have told in certain times, अगर मैं ना लिखूंगी तो दिल जलेगा, अगर लिखूंगी तो हाथ जलेगा. तो the writer does not have any choice except to write. She has to write. That is her social, his or her social responsibility.
And about the use of language, where you break all kinds of impositions of, when you talk about Dalit literature, you talk about other literature, you kind of just break free from all the imposed preachy things that you are supposed to use, this word, that word, this kind of perfect language. Is it a conscious thing or just you're just a free person?
Yeah, I want to say there should not be restriction on me as a writer. And there should not be restriction on my writings, and there should not be restrictions on the language I write. I don't like restrictions. It should be free. And I'm versatile with 2 or 3 languages. I know English, Kannada, Hindi. Urdu is my mother tongue. We speak Dakhni Urdu at our home. And in my Kannada stories, I have used all the Dakhni Urdu words in it.
Yes.
Yeah, I have used Urdu proverbs also. And Deepa Basti was got a type of confusion. She noted down all the confusions which she could not translate, where she faced some issues, and she met me several times and we discussed it. One proverb which which was tough on her was, I had written somewhere in red lungi, where it was the process of circumcision. I had written that khar ko khuda ka yar, gharib ko parwardigar. She was highly confused. What is this khar? What is this khar? I have referred several dictionaries. I have spoken to several people, Muslims and Persian scholar. I could not get answer for this. Khar, it is a colloquial language. Khar is nothing but the wealthy. Khar ko khuda ka yar. Yeah, a wealthy person will get help from anybody. But gharib ko parwardigar. And the poorest person, he has been helped by God himself.
Like how you are helping the poor with the language that they speak in. So thank you so much. It was wonderful, and we'll open it up for questions. If anybody has any questions. Yes.
Hope I am not boring them already.
Good evening. In your second story, the fire rain,
Yeah.
there was a proverb about not burning one candle. It lasts forever. I did not get it. How did you mean?
Fire wraith. Not burning?
There are several candles. So one candle, it misses out. Somehow you don't burn it.
You don't light one candle.
No, I don't know.
एक मोमबत्ती आप नहीं जलाए, एक मोमबत्ती आप नहीं जलाए, नहीं जला पाए, तो it will go on forever. वही.
My context नहीं समझ रही हूँ आपके.
अच्छा. It is a proverb. You have quoted a proverb.
Proverb.
Oh, you have quoted a proverb. Sorry.
Proverb. Can you repeat that proverb?
Well, not verbatim. I could
Okay.
try.
I'm
there
not
are-
getting,
there are,
sorry, I'm not
path-
getting. But there is one proverb I have used there. जो गरीब की बद्दुआ जो है
नहीं, वो नहीं.
वो नहीं.
There are 5-6 candles हैं.
हाँ.
एक नहीं जलाए आप, तो वो it lasts forever. Thousand.
Yeah, I'm
lasts
sorry,
1,000
I'm not getting. I have to reread it. I have to reread
All
it.
right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think there's somebody at the back. Many people.
We are not capable of seeing you people.
So I haven't really quite phrased this question. I really wanted to say something in response to reading your book and in response to what you've just spoken about. When you spoke about feminism and the gentleman who pointed out to you that yours is sort of a different feminism. So my observation was also something like that, reading all the stories, that it wasn't quite feminist. It wasn't quite about, highlighting the things that are wrong in homes and societies in India. But it was, as you said, it wasn't just about Muslim women. So reading it, I think there was sort of something running through it which gives strength to all of us women.
Yes, of
And
course.
it's all about sort of how women have this amazing resilience and spirit where they don't get bitter and they start everything full of so much positivity and love, and then things in life chip away at that, and then how they struggle to keep on to that spirit and that positivity. So is that really your brand of feminism or whatever you're trying to
Yes,
put
yes.
through this story? Can you sort of
In
tell us?
feminism, if you want to interpret feminism in one line, I say it is equal treatment and equal opportunities. But at that time, we coined a slogan, which I remember now, which said, yes, JRS, I said, I will marry you but not carry you. And my interpretation of feminism is, as you told, it is exactly the same, because coming out of the home and divorcing a person, it is not the only relief that a woman can get. Because the entire system, you say, from domestic area, the roots of patriarchy are there in the domestic area, in the home. From then, it spreads to streets. And streets also, anybody, any man, any person can say, ए कपड़े ठीक के पहन, ए ठीक से जा, ए रात के 8 के बाद क्यों बाहर चल जा रही है तू, go back to your, anybody can dictate, even me also. Road में भी ये patriarchy है. And even if you go to offices, colleges, nursing homes, wherever you go, you go to any institution, patriarchy हमसे पहले जाके वहाँ बैठे रहता है. And even in कानून में, पार्लियामेंट में, कोर्ट्स में, ऑफिसेस, everywhere, patriarchy is ruling us. गवर्नमेंट नहीं रूल कर रही है हमको, patriarchy is ruling us. ऐसे मौके के पर अगर if she goes out of the home, where she will land? That is why my protagonists, they are rebellious and they show rebellion in their own household area and wherever it is possible, and they want to stay on until and unless they are physically assaulted or abused.
I think we can take a couple of more questions. And I think one of the rebellion in your stories is when all the women start to spit at the Mutawali.
Yes. There is, another concept of that feminism is sisterhood. Yes. Sisterhood among the women, because there was a first question from you about the male writers. Male writers depict a woman as a jealous lady. She is not a lady. A woman is a jealous person. Woman is backbiting. Woman is bitching. Women is so. Women and so. They give a lot of negativity. They tag her a lot of negativity. But what I present in my works is women are close to each other in the relation of sisterhood. In that Black Cobras, all the women, they support her in one way or the other from the beginning itself. Normally, it is the delegated power of patriarchy to some women who cause lot of havoc rather than the men. There are, for example, you take the name of mother-in-law. The entire family delegates the patriarchal power to her and they make their agent, and they made her to cause and inflict all the violence on the daughter-in-law. But I want to say, we have to realize these things. She is acting under the influence of patriarchy through delegated power. But in my sincere efforts, I want to say, women don't bitching around the other women. They are all sisters. Sisterhood concept is highlighted in that.
They understand each other, like Amina understands Ashraf's plight.
Plight, like that.
Good evening, ma'am. Salam alaikum. यहाँ पे हैं हम, शिल्पी.
Yeah, I can't see. Only I can hear your voice.
Ma'am, आपकी sisterhood के बारे में, I come from a book club called Ladies Study Group Book Club. वहाँ 100 members ने एक साथ ये किताब पढ़ी थी. तो हमें बहुत sisterhood feel हुआ.
Thank you for the feedback.
और I wanted to ask कि जैसे हम आपकी stories translation में पढ़ रहे हैं, ऐसा कोई बंगाली author है जो आपको influence किया हो, in translation आपने पढ़ा हो? Thank you so much.
मैं बचपन से रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर को पढ़ रही हूँ, शरद चंद्र चटर्जी को पढ़ रही हूँ, मैं महाश्वेता देवी को पढ़ी हूँ, अब भी मैं पढ़ रही हूँ. और रशियन लिटरेचर और बंगाली लिटरेचर मुझे बचपन से ही इन्फ्लुएंस किया है. दोनों में बहुत सारे सिमिलैरिटीज भी हैं. वो दो भी मेरे बहुत ही पसंदीदा लैंग्वेजेस हैं जिसके ट्रांसलेशंस में पढ़ी हूँ, बचपन से पढ़ते आई हूँ.
There's somebody here.
And one thing for your book reading concept, a woman, she said, she's talking to me from Pakistan. She introduced herself and said, आपने ये स्टोरीज क्यों लिखा है? आपको ये लिखने का हक किसने दिया है? I got confused. I was just sharing and she said, ये तो मेरी अपनी स्टोरी है, मेरी माँ की स्टोरी है, मेरी दादी की स्टोरी है, इसको लिखने के लिए who has authorized you? So this kind of resonation, the similarities, जो अपनापन इन कैरेक्टर्स के साथ आ रहा है, यही एक इम्पॉर्टेंट बात है जो मुझे अच्छी लगती है. मैं बोलना जो चाहती थी वो ठीक तरह से समझ रहे हैं लोग. दैट इज मोस्ट. ये इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि औरतें ही समझ रहे हैं या मर्द लोग समझ रहे हैं, दोनों समझ रहे हैं ये बात को.
Hi, Mushtaq ma'am, thank you for the amazing session. My question was that, and it's a little political and I am only allowed to perhaps ask this question in this city, is that what we see is this, with the BJP government in power, and we see that with the triple talaq and with sort of similar legacies, what they're trying to do is to co-opt a certain version of the Muslim woman's struggle. But at the same time, when they're coming in power, they are sort of attacking and coming down heavily on the same sect as they're coming down on other minorities, including pushing away Bengali Muslim at the present, targeting them as Bangladeshis. Sonali Bibi, the city would remember, had been pushed down to that side of the border. So as a writer, how are you sort of negotiating this part where your heart lamp stories perhaps lends the voice to those on the right wing saying, you see how patriarchal the Muslim society is, and therefore we need to go there and save those women and hence overpower them. But then post-1992, the situation has been so different that, and it's been violent on the entire minority section, and how you as a writer, you've also yourself faced the entire Dasera issue. So how you are sort of negotiating that. Thank you.
Yeah, I do understand. It's a, very serious issue what you're aiming at. And at this time, I'm not addressing your question in a political manner, but I am addressing your question in a different manner about triple talaq you asked me. Yes, triple talaq, it was a acquired character by the Muslim community, because during the Prophet Muhammad, it was a highly feministic religion, highly feministic system he introduced when he was alive. You know, a girl child was allowed to give birth. Otherwise, in the previous Arab tradition, if a girl child was born, she was buried alive in the sand. She was not allowed to life. Right to life, right to education, right to marriage of her choice, right in the property of the parents, right in the property of the husband, and she was allowed to enter all the arena of social life also. It was the, you can go through, you need not accept my words, you can just search Islamic history. It was the position also. After 100 years of the death of Prophet, once again, the Arab society reverted back to patriarchy. All the ahadith, all the statements, all the system which he has inserted, it was overruled and they interpreted their own way. And there was no system of triple talaq during his lifetime. It is an acquired character, it was an acquired facility for the sake of patriarchal men. If they want to get any new wife, they can say talak, talak, talak and finish. And now I have got it. And that position should have been corrected by the Muslim priesthood, because there is a provision called Ijtihad. Ijtihad is consensuous decision by the scholars. They should have held a discussion and they should have said, this is not the Islamic practice. When they left it vacuum, it went to the hands of BJP government, and BJP government took hold of all these weaknesses and they drafted a legislation. It is when the Supreme Court pronounced a judgment, there were a lot of journalists who were waiting for me. I was in the court hall working, and at the time when I came out, all of them garrowed me and asked my opinion. I said, I welcome this judgment because it is in accordance with the spirit of Islam. That's what statement I gave at that time. Here, when a lot of these types of complications have arisen in the name of religion, it was the bounden duty of certain people who claim themselves as the superiors, who are the spokespersons, who are the persons who can have decision on these things. If they leave, somebody will take the claim. I don't blame even the BJP government because they want some political gain and they have made use of it. And on the other thing, now I am going to write a short story. I have planned, but I have not yet written. See, even let us keep aside this triple talaq. There is a method called as talaq-e-ahsan, where a husband gives unilateral talaq to her wife. This month, January 5th, he can say talaq. And February 5th, he can say talaq. And March 5th, he can say talaq. That means talaq is completed. This is the practice now. If the talaq is possible like that, nikah should be possible like that. If a man sees any beautiful woman and he likes her, and he can go stand beside her and can say, nikah, 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 or khubul kiya, khubul kiya, khubul kiya. Will it possible? Until and unless she consents to it, is it possible? No. She has to give consent that I too, yes, I am also agreeable to be your wife, she has to say. But why it is not possible in talaq? Why unilateral talaq power has given to man? I can't hear you properly. I can't hear you.
So I was not getting this mic. Yeah, thank you. I have read your books and I found your stories to be very sensitive. Yeah. Now, have you, in your journey, have you faced any, male Muslims who are facing or getting inflicted pain from women? So, is there any other way around?
What male?
Any male, your known person getting inflicted pain from women?
Like women beating men.
Yeah. I'm talking about mentally.
Yeah.
Mental torture.
Yeah, it is possible. It is possible. I have seen. But it's not the order of the day. It is the rarest of the cases.
Okay.
It is the rarest of the cases. I have seen it. And I have already told you earlier, there are certain women to whom the power of patriarchy is delegated, or they themselves have imbibed those characters. There is a possibility.
So, ma'am, if you are getting opposition from a female, you are tagging it as patriarchy, right? There can be jealousy as well. A female person can feel that, okay, I never got this limelight and this, honor. She is getting it, so I will put a stop to it. I have seen this in my personal life.
It is possible, I am telling you. She is also a human being. She is also having all types of positive and negative feelings. Yes, of course. But branding her, tagging her, and even Shakespeare says, woman, thy name is jealousy. My objection lies there.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I think Banu Mushtaq mentioned equal rights and equal opportunities for women. I wanted to add equal trolling also for men and women, not more for women. And so thank you so much for being so brave and writing these stories. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.